Welcome to the Mompreneur Space Live Show podcast, where our host, Kenneth Chu, interview inspiring moms from around the world so that you can learn how they overcome their challenges and struggles as mompreneurs. Today's guest is none other than Joanne Khoo, who is an entrepreneur and a Kickstart coach. In this episode, we will be talking about the myth of work-life balance. Joanne will also be sharing on how she overcame her challenges and struggles. Without further ado, let's welcome Joanne.
And hi, Joanne.
Hello, hi, Kenneth. So happy to be here. Hello, everyone who is watching. Hello.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for making time. And finally, I've invited you onto the show. And thanks for the prompt response by saying yes to come on my show. So I'm really excited. I believe that we have friends that will be tuning in and supporting you. So before we start, there's a tradition in my show that every guest get to answer the question of the day posted by the previous guest before we can officially start. So are you ready to receive the question of the day posted by the previous guest?
Yep.
Okay. The question of the day posted by the previous guest is, if you were to have big success, what is the cost you feel you would have to pay? All right. So I repeat again. The question of the day posted by the previous guest is, if you were to have big success, what is the cost you feel you would have to pay? So, Joanne, are you ready? With your answer to the question of the day?
Yeah, I'll do my best. Okay. So I feel that a lot of the people, I think maybe because when we are growing up, right, we always feel that, to be successful, you need to pay a price. Yeah. You need to be willing to lose something to gain something. Yeah, but actually to me, right, I actually don't feel that it's a price to pay. So I feel that if you want to have real success and fulfillment in life, right, you can actually have without having to so-called sacrifice. Because I feel that the word sacrifice, that you need to give up on something, right? Okay, it has got so much negative connotation and narrations that you need to give up on something. Look, that's why it's really hard for people to be successful, because they feel that they need to give up on so much things. But actually, you don't have to. You can actually get a lot of success, right, very easily if you do it the right way and you know how. So that's why when you ask me that question, what am I willing, or what will it cost for a big success? I say that it doesn't have to cost you a lot. As long as you believe in what you do, okay, and I don't believe that you need. I don't believe that you need to sacrifice and give up anything. Yeah, you can have success, right, by doing the things you like and by not giving up on or on things that is meaningful to you. You can have it all.
Wow, thanks a lot, Joanne, for answering the question of the day. And I totally agree with you that you don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to pay a huge cost to pursue something that you believe in, and also you don't have to really give up. And I think maybe later we can touch on this on this sacrifice and give up, which I personally in my past 14 years of working with mompreneurs, women entrepreneurs, I realized that it's very common that mothers feel that they sacrifice a lot, they give up a lot, be it for family, be it for business. Yeah. So maybe before we go into the show, maybe I just want to address this. I think since we have a lot of your supporters that's coming in, we have Peggy, we have is this Simin Pong, then we have Lee Pei Pei. So maybe you can share with us like when we talk about sacrifices and give up, do you see that it's really more common in mothers that they have this thought and they feel that they have to sacrifice and give up a lot in order to achieve what they wanted? For example, they want to be more happy, they want to be more healthy, they want to pursue their passion. So what do you think that if we were to dive deeper inside from your experience?
I feel that it is true that female generally, because of the role that they play, because they are mom and sometimes they have to juggle the household and the children. But I think equally for anybody, even if you are a father right now, I know you, Kenneth, you take care of your girl and you cook. So you see, right, I don't think it's a gender bias requirement, to juggle things. It's not like mom, but generally in our society, unfortunately, female somehow has a little bit more on their plate. Okay, and they feel that that's why today, right, the topic is so important, because they feel that because of so many things on their plate, or they have so many plates, that they need to give up on some, and they are constantly thinking which one should I be holding, and and to the extent where they are being stretched too thin, they have to give up on something, and they feel like, oh, I am sacrificing. So, when they are taking care of the children, then they say, I am sacrificing my personal time to take care of the children. Actually, I can be a career high climber. I am sacrificing because I want to spend time with my children growing up. I don't want to miss them growing up. So, but the thing is, if you dig deeper, right, if you're doing it willingly, it's not called sacrifice, correct? I mean, only if you're not doing it willingly, then you say, I'd rather be doing that, but now I'm here,
Yes.
So if you already make a decision, this is what I want to do, then you have to, then it's not sacrifice anymore. This you should be enjoying, because this is what you want to do, and I feel that there is no need to compare, because people start comparing and say, and that is why they feel that I'm sacrificing, because I could have had what my friend had, or my colleague who is same par on me, and then because I gave up, and this is where I am, and my colleague is making so much money, so they start comparing. And I feel that because of this comparison and this constantly feeling of, I gave up on that, I am sacrificing, I could have had that, so I feel that if you are willingly doing it, and it is the choice, and it is what you wanted to do deep inside, then you should enjoy it, and it's the right decision. And you should pursue that all the way.
And I think, Joanne, you point out something that I always hear, that mothers, or in general people who say that, I sacrifice this and that because I have no choice. Do you normally hear that? I have no choice because my parents are not supportive, I have to take it all by myself, my in-laws are not supportive. I believe you hear a lot about this, and I think this is something that why we are bringing it up about the myth of work-life balance. These are things that we have to address, like the mindset, the thinking, the belief, and also what words are you using. I think this will help a lot, and I would say that this is a very good question, because it kind of like posted by the previous guest, right? But the previous guests do not know what is the topic that we were going to talk about.
Interesting.
But it's very interesting that the question that is posted, right, about what is the cost to pay, and about sacrifices, and about all that. Because when you talk about work-life balance, there's definitely, you need to give one side more focus or more commitment, right? So now we can officially start with the show, and I see that we have a lot of your supporters that is tuning in.
Hello.
We have Brenda.
Hello.
We have Li Pei say that she
Hello.
agree. We have Annie. We have is it Ling Wong? Yeah, we have a lot of your supporters coming in. So maybe you can do
heart to them.
Yes, thanks for your heart. And now we can start. Especially for those who are tuning in or maybe watching the replay, they might be seeing you for the first time. Maybe, Joanne, you can do a short introduction of yourself. Where are you from? And currently, what are you doing? And what brings you onto the road of entrepreneurship?
Okay, thank you, Kenneth. And then let me just do a shout out to everyone who is watching, and to my friends, and I don't know whether my families are here or not, but definitely very excited. And thank you, Kenneth, for having me. It's really very amazing to get connected with like-minded people. So just a little bit of background. I was actually from the advertising industry. I was a trained graphic designer. I was working in the advertising industry for 17 years. 11 out of it, right, I was running my own advertising agency. So I was already an entrepreneur when I was in my late 20s. Yeah. So 6 years working for international agency, then jump onto my own advertising agency. While I was working on my own advertising agency, I also co-own a bridal boutique where I designed the boutique, the bridal gown, because I love fashion and I love designing. And then also I run like a medium small size event company alongside with the two other businesses that I have. Okay, so basically, right, I was an entrepreneur, but I was a traditional business owner. Yeah, and what happened was close to 8 years ago, I actually made a decision to pivot and change the way I do business, right, into something that I am really happy, into online entrepreneur. So what I am right now, like you mentioned, I am a Kickstart Coach. I help ecopreneur and online to people who wants to kickstart their online business. I partner with a US company, so I help people kickstart. I always feel that the start is the one that stops people. Because they don't know how to start, then that is the biggest hurdle. So once we help them to kickstart, right, then everything, right, will gain momentum. And so I feel that it's really important that whatever you want to do in life, be it getting a fitter body, or earning more money, or spending more time self-care and whatever, right, kicking start the right way is very important. So what I do is I help people reevaluate their current resources, and creatively expand those resources, right, so that they can enhance all the aspect of their life, Yeah, so that is what I do as a Kickstart Coach. And I've been doing it close to 8 years now.
Wow. And that is a very, very I would say roller coaster ride of you running different business, starting from traditional brick and mortar business. Like I know that you started your advertising agency, and then you move into bridal, even for events. So how is it like, right, between your traditional brick and mortar business versus your online business?
I think the biggest difference is, when you are a business owner, a traditional business owner, especially when you run a family-owned business, right? Okay, a small setup, everything is onto you. So it is you who does all the thing. What we say, right? 包山包海, one leg kick. So, and that is really very different from how I imagine being a boss. Okay, so-called boss. When I was working for people, right? Then as someone who is working in the first, early 20s, right? Then your mindset is, I build a career. And then as you work for a few years, then I want more money, then why don't I make my own business? So it is a transition, and a lot of people face the same thing. And then, why I want more money while I have more time to myself. So naturally, moving to your own business will be the next step. So that was what I did, So I got an offer from my brother, and my brother said, why don't you help me with this advertising agency, since you know what you're doing? And I went into this. So it is it's a family business. Everything is very close knitted. Everything is onto us. It is like our shoulder, right? Our shoulder, right? Okay. It is, if you have 25 staff, there will be 25 families on your shoulder. Okay. So, and to do that for 11 years, right, will really take a toll onto your health, onto your mental health, physical health, onto your family relationship, because everything is on me,
Yeah.
So you get really tired. So that's after 11 years, right? I was thinking, isn't there a better way to earn money and make an impact, So that is not so tiring, because I was like in my 30s, and I was thinking, I'm so tired already. How can I work until 60 plus?
Could it be because age is catching up, the metabolism rate, and you've been in the industry for 11 years? That is long.
Yes, and the thing is, right, running my own businesses for 11 years, And also, that's why I say, right, as we age and as we move into different stages of our life, right, our priority changes. So, early 20s, you want to make a career, like acknowledgement and all this. And then after that, you want more money, more time, and then after that, as I age, right, I say, I want to work less, so I want to work less, I want to spend more time with my family. So then decision, you have to keep revealing your current businesses and your current decision, whether they still make sense to you right now, whether they're still serving you or not. So if it's not right, then you have to make different decisions, because the decision was made many years ago. Now you are in a different place of your life, right? You really need to reevaluate those. Yeah, and that was what I did. I reevaluated the situation. And of course, they say whatever happened in your life, right? There might be some kind of like life-changing moment, big aha life-changing moment. I was a new mom. My son was not yet 2, and my dad was diagnosed with cancer. So suddenly I feel that, how come traditional business, even though when we are making money, it is always an exchange of time, effort with the money. So when I don't have time and I cannot put in effort because I don't have the energy for the business, right? And my energy goes to another place, like my dad, my family, I cannot see the money coming back. So that I get really frustrated. I say, isn't there a better way to do it? So then I start to explore the idea of leveraging. Yep. Because when you leverage, right, you don't have to depend everything on yourself.
Correct.
And the good system of leveraging, right, is really very effective and sustainable, because it's not just leveraging, but you have to have a system that allow you to continue leverage on whatever this new business is. So that is really important. So I found that more effective for me that time, and I made the decision to change. And I now, after so many years, I have actually sold off my 3 traditional businesses, and I only is doing
focus on
this
one, right?
Yeah, focus on this online coaching and this partnership, the programs and helping other people, So this is what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
So Joanne, like you mentioned, like I think this is something like could it be like a stigma or the belief for a lot of mothers who want to start business, right? Oh, I want to start a cafe, I want to start a fashion boutique, I want to start what are the common things? Oh, I want to start a bakery shop. So all these are traditional business, and a lot of mothers wanted to start all this kind of traditional business. And hearing from you, running businesses for 10 over years and running 3 different type of traditional brick and mortar business. So what would you share with all these mothers who wanted to start business in all these areas from your advice? Because for you have transit and moved into, you have sold off your 3 other businesses for 1 online business. What would your advice, or what would you share with them for the thing that they do not know now, or the hidden truth?
Yeah, I feel there is no right or wrong. I mean, of course, there are so many successful traditional business out there, but I feel that any business, if you really put your heart and soul to it, and you have good, let's say it's a cafe, and you have good products now, which is good coffee, and the place is good. It is about you really asking yourself, how long can this sustain?
Yeah.
Is it sustainable? Right. So it is. I mean, I made good money when I was in advertising. I made money when I was in event. I made money when I was doing my wedding gown boutique. But the thing is, can you sustain that success?
Especially with time, with age.
Yes. Correct. So if you end up answering that, actually I don't know how long I'm gonna do this. I can do this. If let's say if you are in the bakery business, and everything is on you to bake those cookies or cakes, and you are the only person who can do this signature baking, and and no one wants to learn from you, or even if they learn from you, they cannot achieve.
Or they will run away with your recipe and start their own, right?
Correct. What is to stop them? Even if you want to give them some share and whatever, then they say, oh, if I'm doing it myself, I don't need your share. I have 100%. Why do I need 30% from you? So there are so many things that you need to consider. And I think the first question you need to ask is whether or not this is sustainable. So if it's not, right, then you have to really consider, unless you say, oh, I have so much money to burn, I just want to have a nice business that I can, be seen on, and then, and I don't care whether it makes money or not, because sustainability means continue to make profit to cover whatever that, if it's not profitable, then you will have to close it, correct or not?
And you mentioned something that traditional business normally have this so-called 3 years mark, right? That means if within 3 years you don't make a profit, this is not a good business.
I think now people are even
right?
Even looking. Well, I always say if you are willing, traditional business means there is a lot of investment involved. Okay, when you go in, right, you have to know that you go in with negative. That means you go in with an investment already. That means you will not make profit until you break even. So after that, then everything after the break even is the profit. So you have to evaluate, how long can you sustain in not making profit, So you have to calculate all this, because a business, right, when you really want to say opening a shop and it is not as easy as let's open a store on Facebook that you don't have, you just have a page, you have some beautiful photo, and today you can sell. It's not about that. Okay?
When you talk about that makes me help me to recall some of the common the common things that happen because I've been helping mompreneurs for the past 14 years because of my previous job as a advertising sales for Motherhood magazine. So a lot of my clients are mothers, and in these 14 years I've seen successful one and non-successful one, and like what you mentioned, a lot of them are not sustainable because a lot of them dies off over a period of time. Be it whether the investment, they are dry, they're not profiting, they're losing, or they have problems getting staff, or they are the one and only person that can do everything because nobody wants to take the job. So that's why they die off. And I believe that this is the key, and this is something I always talk to mothers, that unless, like you mentioned, if you start a bakery shop, how long can you start? When you start a boutique shop, how long can you start, right? Or you start a cafe, how long can you start? Because starting a cafe, you need at least 200K. Because the rental, the renovation, the people, the furnitures, the whatever. And in Singapore, right, you need to pay a lot of license, which these are things that people don't see. And what people want, they want to achieve the dream of having a cafe. It's like a facade, like a pedestal that is placed up there, that, I want to be a cafe owner. Like I used to imagine, or used to dream to be a pub owner, a KTV pub owner, where I can go there and drink, because I love drinking, I love singing.
Drink and sing.
Correct. Then I can chill all my friends down. But the truth is, most KTV pub don't earn money. They are just pumping money.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, if you have a dream or a goal to set up a traditional business, okay, just ask yourself this, how to sustain the business. What happened if this happened? What happened? You have to have some kind of plan.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you also need to see, right? Sometimes, like you say, it is not other factors that is not sustainable. I mean, sometimes you are the one who lost interest. Like a lot of people, they get really excited in the beginning, like, I need to do that, I want to do that. And then after that, I'm so tired, I'd rather sit at home, why do I need to work on weekend, things like that. So whether it is something that you really want to do, is it really meaningful to you or not? So at the end of the day, right, if it's just for the fun of it or whatever, right, then it will fizzle off, and then, and it will not sustain that kind. You won't have the tenacity, right, to sustain through to break even, and that's why a lot of people before breaking even, right, they already say, okay, that's it, I give up already, but of course there are also many people who makes money, and those are the one, right? If you really study them, they really have a plan.
Yeah.
They know how to sustain it. They know how to duplicate the effort. They know how to they know how to keep themselves motivated, or I don't want to use this motivation, it's like keep themselves right up for it, right? And making the same decision every day, like to show up and to turn up and to continue to build a business, even though when people around them not so believe in them, or you don't see the result as you want to see that. So it is really very important, ask yourself those difficult questions first, then it will be easier for you later on,
Yeah,
So
and I think this is a very important piece for everyone to learn, and for everyone to start thinking about it and start reflecting. And these are some of the questions that you should be asking yourself even before you start. Because there's a saying, right? When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that is what I realized in a lot of people who are running business. Even for me, when I initially start my business, right, it was by accident, because I got laid off by my previous employer, which is a media marketing agency. And my client said, hey, Kenneth, why not you start your own marketing agency? And that's how I started. And then on my second year, I realized that I need to start planning, which is a bit too late. But I think it's better to have than not to have, because that helped me a lot. And also the learning curve as an entrepreneur, or even for someone who's running a business, there's so much things for you to learn. And if you are not a learner, a lifetime learner, you are going to fade off eventually. And that's why I believe, like, even for you starting afresh, right, from traditional business and now doing online business, I believe that will take that is a huge transition for you, right?
It is. It's not something that I'm familiar with. And like I think you're totally right when you say we continue to learn, and that is what life is all about. If you stop learning, right, what fun can it be? It is us experiencing different things, and from the experience, right, we gain different knowledge, different lessons and things like that. So do different things that challenge you, that makes life more fun.
And talking about that, right, I realized this is one of the virtues for most entrepreneurs who can sustain for a long period of time, because they are constantly learning. Even for the top people, the successful people like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, they are constantly reading, learning from various people that are writing the book, from authors, from all the like-minded, all the big successful, powerful mind. And coming to that, right, it seems that we are doing a lot of things. So when we have the discussion of this topic, which is the myth of work-life balance. So having said that we there's so many things that we are doing, is there a work-life balance? Is it a possible thing? And what is your take on that?
Okay, I want to just make it clear. I really don't believe in work-life balance. That's why when you ask me to talk about the myth, right, then I jump onto this opportunity, because I feel that it's necessary to address this so-called imaginary balance. So I just want everyone, right, who's listening to imagine, how do you balance something? You have to have something on this side and another similar equal thing on the other end, right? Then you can balance it, correct? Yeah. So like imagine a scale. Okay. So, so if you are putting work and life in a totally different end, okay, you are separating them. Okay. So you are constantly deciding which one I want to go and which one I want to put more time in. So imagine, right? First, our life is off balance already. Okay, I ask you, for a normal employee, right? How many days do they work in a week?
5.
5.5. Sometimes
6.
people work 6 days, right?
Yep.
Okay. So out of 7 days, right? You work 6 days and you have 1 day to yourself. How can that be balanced? Correct. So you see,
a lot
right?
of people are doing OT, right, over time.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, right? So I mean, this is all like wrong already, because you started off balance. So and it's almost impossible because there's 7 days in a week and you work six days or 5 days and you have 2 days left to balance the 5 days of work. So that's why you're constantly trying to jam pack your weekend or your holiday to make up for the work you have done,
Correct.
So, and when you cannot do that, right? Because, balancing means if I put 5 hours or 5 days into work, I have to put 5 days to holiday or relaxation. But if you cannot do that, that is when you feel, I'm not, you beat yourself. I cannot balance my life, cannot achieve work-life balance.
I'm not good enough. I'm
yeah,
lousy.
and then, it's like, my life is off balance. I always work. Something is wrong. I'm feeling unfulfilled, because so it's like all these words coming to your head because you're trying to balance the unbalanceable. I say that
which is already not balanced in the first place.
It's already, you came into the picture. If you're working, it's already not balanced, so don't even try to do that. Okay. And I always say, right, when you separate this, right, work and life, right, and when you put them out into different side, right, and that make people stronger because it's not together, and you have to work on this and then you have to work on this, so I always feel that instead of work-life balance, so I instead of pursuing the balance, because I think it's okay not to be balanced because you started off unbalanced already, so it's okay not to have the balance, but instead, right, try to pursue something else. Pursue life fulfillment. Don't pursue balance, because if you achieve the balance, I tell you what, just imagine yourself doing this. If you try to put a lot, okay, onto your work, okay, and then as you put a lot onto work, you feel guilty, and you suddenly stop your work and you put a lot onto your family time, onto yourself, okay, and then you put a lot of that, right, and then and you just put a lot to balance it, because every time you put here, you have to put in here as well, so you're putting a lot, and then at the end of the day, right, because you feel so tired, and then you suddenly feel like, why am I doing this? Why am I always so tired? Why am I not happy? So there is no fulfillment just trying to balance off things because of this myth of you need to achieve certain things. And I always feel, right, it is because you compare. And you can compare to yourself, meaning I put in 5 hours of work. I'm comparing myself, right? 5 hours of work. And because 5 hours of work here, so I have to put in 5 hours to my family. So you're comparing what you put into your work with your family or with yourself or with whatever. So you start to compare. And sometimes this is within yourself, or sometimes people compare with other people. How come the other mother,
they start
right?
to judge you, right?
Yeah, the other mother can put in so much, and how come the other mother and what? And then the other mother start to compare, and then the other mother say, how come you never take care of your children? You never send your children to the party, So it's all this whatever comparing, right? And it just throw you off balance, and you want to just give more. How can you forever be giving more, okay, and not feel tired?
Wow, you are so right about it, because I think I'm very blessed that since young, right, my mom taught me this phrase. In Chinese, 人比人气死人. So that's why she always don't compare, and she always like to say, right, you look at our fingers, right, none of our fingers is not balanced. It's not equal. It's not of equal length. So how are you going to make it the same? Everybody is different. So that I think I was very blessed that since young I know that nothing is equal. Everybody have different fingers length, and everybody is unique on its own. You cannot compare with each other. When you start comparing, the frustration comes in. And why are you putting yourself through that? I think you put out a very, very strong point, and this is something that most people are struggling with that. So how can they overcome that, like not having that thought of balance, like you mentioned, put it together, right?
Yeah, that's a very good answer. I feel that instead of striking for the balance, pursue fulfillment by understanding the right plan for your life. When I say plan, right, that means what will make you feel fulfilled. Because when you feel fulfilled, right, you will be happy, Lord. And sometimes people feel that the balance will give them happiness and joy. But in the pursuit of those balance, right, you feel tired and you feel lonely and you feel overwhelmed, and that's not joy. Okay, that's not happiness. Okay, so I feel that first of all, right, like for me, I always feel that I always ask myself this question, what matters to me and my life? So that will be the blend that you need to put in. So those are the areas, right, that you need to work on. And I feel that when I say blend, right, I really want to make sure that I don't separate them. But because by separating them, right, you feel that the other one get neglected when you focus on, because it bounds to happen. I mean, if you are working, you cannot carry your son and breastfeeding, and you're not the prime minister of New Zealand, okay, yeah. So it's not common for us to do that. We have to send the children somewhere else while we work, when we focus. So you bound to neglect the other part. So if you can find the perfect blend, right, and I want to share with you how you can let this blend complement each other. That's why I say blend, right? You can actually share a few. So to me, I ask myself, and my answer to that is like, my first element in the blend, right? Okay, that is really important for me. Okay, not the most important, but equally important, which is my career, my work, and my finances. That means I want to be a financially independent person, and I want to have my own career. I want to be able to work on something that I like. Okay. The second one, right, is in the blend is relationship. Relationship includes like with my spouse, with my partner, okay, like my husband, my children, my friends, my family, and my work partners and things like that. The relationship, okay. And the third one, right, is recreations. Recreations means my hobbies, my passion, working on myself, like doing physical health, and also caring for myself, mental health, and all. So that is recreation. And the last one, which I feel really important, is contributions. So when you have these four blends, right, like I decided on this. I'm not saying that everyone has to decide and on these four blends. You have to ask yourself, what matters to you, and what will make you happy, and what will contribute to a fulfilled life for you. And it can be totally different. Some people are more spiritual, and they want to contribute a certain time to spirituality and things like that, which is totally okay, because that is up to you. But you have to have a very specific and clear elements in the blend. Okay, and with this blend, right, okay, what you need to do is you need to talk to yourself and say, right, that whenever life is happening, right, when you're doing something, you are also contributing to other things. I give you an example. The problem comes, right, when people are working, they feel that they are neglecting their family or their spouse or their children or whatever, right? So because they try to balance, right, they put this as a separate element and there. So if you do the blend, right, that means when you're working, can you imagine the contribution? So when I'm working, right, I am really happy that I'm also contributing. Yep. Whether it's to someone else, whether it's to the community, knowledge sharing, and I feel that I'm also contributing. So I have work take and contribution take. And at the same time, right, I will tell myself the reason why I'm working so hard is for my family. Yep. So I work on the relationship as well. I take the relationship. So when you're doing one thing, when you're working, you're actually taking the other blends as well. You get what I mean? Yep. So the best come in when you do something and it can pick the 3 blends.
At least 3, right?
Yeah, at 3 to 4. The best will be 4. Can you imagine if you're working on something that you're really passionate about that actually calms you down? So like people who bakes, right? So when they're baking, they work, they earn money, yep. And they also enjoy doing it, So and then if they bake and then they pass some to their family member, they will improve the relationship, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bonding.
So you see, yeah, and then you can bake and you can give to charity, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So actually, one work of baking can actually do all this, yep. And you can be fulfilled after that, even though you spend all your days, 3 days in a row baking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to do so many different things. You just have to know the blend and how to balance this blend, right? So that you can fulfill as many elements that matters to your life as possible. Yeah. So to me, that is my
Formula.
My formula to keep myself
Check.
sane
Yeah.
in an unbalanced life. Okay. So I can tell you, when I'm focusing on something, there are a lot of things. I have laundry piled up, I have dishes unwashed on the basin, so which is okay. Sometimes my son won't die eating McDonald's for a few days, so it's okay.
You are right on that, because a lot of time we self-sabotage ourselves, we beat ourselves up for no reason. We always attend to things that we feel that is urgent, but in fact, like you mentioned, they won't die having McDonald's. They won't die without one home cooked food. They will love to not have the home cooked food. They would rather have outside food, right? Yeah, it's not just McDonald's. I think they, like human beings, we do need change. We do need alternative, right? So if we keeping ourselves into one box, it's really hard. And maybe you can share with the audience, maybe a recap of what are the 4 blends. Maybe you can recap.
So one more time, for me, it is important work, which involve career, and because work will contribute you to finances. So that is the first blend. Okay. The second one is relationship that includes your spouse, your family member, relationship with your friends, and every connections that you have. Okay, because it's really important. Having good relationship is really important to keep your life sane. Okay, So the next one is recreation, meaning working on your passion, things that you like, that will actually contribute to your self-love, self-care, personal enrichment and growth, the mental, and then and also physical, because sometimes you can have time to work out and things like that. So you feel all. You have time to do the extra things, those are the novelty extra things, And the last one is contribution, because I feel that when you contribute, right, you automatically feel enough, because when you're giving, right, you have to come from enough. I have already, then therefore I can give.
True.
Yeah. So it is really difficult for people to give when the mindset is not enough. That means I scared, I don't have money. You ask me to donate some more, So it is difficult. So when you are in a state, or you are being enough, and you are grateful for what you have, and you feel that, hey, actually I have whatever I have is enough, and that actually allow you to give, and the feeling of giving because you're already in a state, even though you don't have a lot, but you have enough. That will really always lead you to a fulfilled, happy life. Yeah, so that will be my personal 4 blends, and you are welcome to use that as a guideline, or if you want to just sit down, take a couple of days to really think about what matters to you.
I like that, because when I look into it deeper, right, you covers the 4 intelligence that our life or a person have. One part is emotional, mental, spiritual, and also intelligence. Intelligence meaning the mind itself, the intellect, the intellectual part, because the intellectual part will come from the work that you mentioned, your career, your finances, because that will make you feel that you're smart and all that stuff. That will have that fulfillment. The relationship is basically on the part of emotional intelligence, your relationship, your connection, that will fill up your emotional level. And then when you talk about recreation, is right, your hobbies and all that will help you be insane, which is on the mental wellness part. And when you talk about contribution, I see it more as a spiritual. When you're giving, when you're helping people, spiritually you are being healed and all that stuff. So that basically sum up a kind of fulfillment, and also happiness. Because just now you said something which I also agree, is that when you feel fulfilled, you feel happy. And that is where, when in my book, right, although my book talk about like mother industrialist, right, perfecting the balance between motherhood and business success. When I talk about perfecting it, right, in fact, when you talk about balance, very funny thing that one of the mompreneurs I interviewed, she said that it's the same thing. There's no balance, because when you think about balance, you are already not balanced. Yeah. So which is like it took me a while for me to really react and think about it and reflect what is she talking about. But what she said is true, because a lot of us, when we use the word of balance, right, the balance word has that connotation of that relation with 50-50. But for me,
equal amount,
and
yeah.
that is
Mathematically.
correct. That is the equation. But in life, right, I realized through all my interviews, even from you, I realized that the level does not matter. You can put 70% onto work, you can have 30% onto family. Does not mean that you are a bad parent. It's just that this is your balance. This is the fulfillment.
That is the blend.
That's the blend.
That's why I say it's the blend, because the blend means, right, you can for this period of time, you can have 40% recreation, 20% contribution, and then after that, another 30% is career, and then so you can have that blend.
Yeah.
So it's the blend rather than trying to like balance it equally. Yeah.
And I think this is a very good, like the tip that you gave, right? The work, relationship, recreation, contribution is a very good for those who need systems, who need like a formula or breakdown. But I think because I work with a lot of mothers, a lot of times they are not very analytical. They don't need to go there. The key thing that I realized after interviewing for so many mompreneurs, right? The key to all this, right, or fulfillment, or even balance, whatever you can put it, right, is the end game lah. The result is happiness. As long as you are happy, right, regardless of whatever level that you have, you put so much in work, you put so much in family or whatever, as long as you are happy and it works for you, you basically audit yourself what is best for you. Like for me, I'm 70 family, 30% work. That's why I need to find a business that I have a lot of leverage. I can leverage on system, people, other people's money, whatever leverage I can use from. But for my wife, she has 70% at work. She feel fulfilled. She feel happy when she can contribute, help her bosses at the work. But she's not to say that she's not a good mother. It's not to say that she's not a nurturing mother. It's just that she feel happier. When she's happy, she became a better parent. This is what I see.
I agree.
Yeah, and this translates back to your children, because children don't hear what you say. They see what you do. When you are happy, they are happy. When you're not happy, they are also not happy, because they are sensitive human being. So so coming back to that, right? When you shared on all this formula, what would you say is the number one or the biggest challenge for most mothers who want to achieve this?
I feel that many mothers, especially when they come to me and they want to kickstart something, right? One of the common challenge they have, right, is time. Like time management. I want to do so much, but there's only 24 hours in a day. Yeah. So so little time, so many things to do, Yeah. So and I feel that there is another system that I follow. I feel that asking yourself the right questions will always lead you to know what you want to do next. Okay. The problem is, if you follow the work-life balance myth, that means you are trying to equally give your time to all the things. So if you already correct your mindset that you don't have to equally give time, okay, then you can focus on something more today or this aspect, and you choose this blending, and tomorrow you choose another blending, or 3 months later you choose another blending, and that's totally okay. That is the first thing. Secondly, have a system, right, to manage. I always say when they come to me and ask for time management, tips and things like that, I say the best way to manage your time is to manage your priorities. Don't try to manage the time. Don't say, I give 3 hours onto this job load. But the thing is, life is never as expected and planned. What if you give 3 hours, right? And then your meeting lasts 5 hours. And then after that, you cannot go and fetch your son because your meeting was 5 hours, was supposed to end 3 hours, and your 2 hours supposed to pick your son. When life happens like this, because you have a fixed time and you get really frustrated, you say, it didn't follow my plan, But life is like that. Life always throw you curveballs.
Yeah.
You know, so when you manage your priority is different. So regardless how many hours you spend, that is the priority. So I'm not sure whether I'm sure you have heard of the Eisenhower matrix. Okay, so the Eisenhower matrix, right, is a matrix that make it really easy for people to juggle priorities. So basically, right, there are 4 quadrants in the matrix. So the first one, right, is things that matters, like really important, high importance, okay, and then high urgency. That means if it's really important and it's really urgent, so that the action need to be taken will be do first. Okay, you have to do that first because it's really important and it's really urgent. Okay, so the second quadrant, right, will be important but not urgent, low urgency. You know, there are things that if you really sit down, right, then you can think, oh, actually this is really important, but not so urgent.
Yep.
You know, not so urgent. You know, I can actually, so that action, call for action will be do next. After you finish the first one, you do next. The third one, right, is not important but highly urgent. So some people will ask, what is not important but highly urgent? Okay, for example, your whole house, right? Okay, it is very messy and you have not cleaned your house. Okay, it is not, actually you won't die lah if you don't clean your house, but you or you don't clean your clothes. You need your clothes maybe tomorrow to wear. If not, then you have to wear smelly clothes to see your client. So it's important, right? I mean, it's not so important, but it's very high urgency. You need to get it solved right now. Okay, or maybe it's picking up something from the post laju. You know, if you don't pick it up, they were gonna do something about it. They're gonna throw it away or something like that. So it is, you know, so it's not so important that you do it yourself, but it's very high urgency. So the action is do later, okay, or okay, get someone else to do it. Because it's not important. Yeah, if it's like you screw up a little bit, you know, if that person deliver only 70%, you can still accept it. Yeah, so then it's do later or you get someone else to do it. The last one is not important, not urgent. So my advice to you is don't do it. If it's not important, if it's not urgent, don't say yes to the things that like will mess your day. You know, so you know, we're so used to women especially, right, want to accommodate so many things. Like mother-in-law call, you do this, husband call, you do this, friend call, you do this. So you want to say yes to everyone, you want to make everyone happy. That end up, right, when you don't deliver, right, and
you make yourself not happy.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. And when you're not happy, right, when you the first person is not happy, you will make everyone unhappy.
Yeah, and when you say that, right, do you realize that subconsciously they are putting themselves into that rabbit hole, that they want to fulfill everybody's needs, and in the end it's like falling into that trap, into they feeling burnout, they feeling depressed, they feeling frustrated, they feeling guilty, they feeling not worthy and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess this come from the first question you asked, because somehow or other we always equal success or accomplishment, right, with sacrifices. You know, so you feel that the more I sacrifice, the more it's meaningful for me.
And this is
so
a very, very strong belief set since young, right?
Yes, it is like that, you know, because, you know, people are asking, you know, what are you willing to give? What are you willing to sacrifice? You have to sacrifice this. You got to give something to get something, you know. So most of the time, right, they feel, a lot of female, okay, especially since we're talking about female, right? Okay, male, I'm not so, I don't know lah. I'm sure they also feel the same.
It's the same, just that we are not that vocal.
Yeah, so you see, right, the female will feel that, oh, you know, I really need to give up a lot of things, okay, so that you know, my family will appreciate. They can see my contributions, my effort. You know, I am being recognized. You know, and they want to do so many things, and they feel that it's a part. Not being happy and sacrificing themselves, right, is a part of the journey to a happier life. I want to ask this question. You know, if 80% of your life not happy, okay, you are pursuing the 20% of happiness, right? So if you live until, let's say, 100 years old, 80 years old, you're sacrificing and not happy, you only have the 20 years to be happy, right? Do you think it's worth it? Like, why?
That's why a lot of people at their deathbed, right? They always say, "Oh, I regret this,
I
regret
wish
that."
I would have done that.
Yeah.
And, because you are so busy being not happy. and
Trying
and
to, and they are
trying to,
they are doing so much to be unhappy, trying to be happy.
yes, and I've seen so many. Actually, right, one thing that I learned is really to say no to things that doesn't serve me.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you are able to say no to the things that doesn't serve you, then you become lighter and you are clearer on what you want. The other day, right, a lady asked me, how to be happy and get what you want in life. Okay. Then I say, right, okay, the problem is a lot of people, they don't know what they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you know what you want without knowing what you want? Is first list down what you don't want.
Yeah.
When you take away everything that you don't want, right, you are left with the things that you want. Then you say, oh, actually, this is the thing I want. Yeah. So, and then finally you realize, because if you ask a lot of people, immediately they cannot answer you.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know what I want. I want this, that. But so to make it easier, ask yourself what you don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you willing to say no to right now? So to me, that is really a very, very important thing. If you know what to say no to, okay, then you are curating a wonderful life of what you want.
Yeah. And this is what we coaches does also, to help them to have that self-awareness. If let's say you do not know what you want, then as long as you know what you do not want, then we can work with you.
Yes,
if both you can't figure it out, then I think it's a big
then you have to really take some time and think of your own.
Yeah, maybe go to the forest and meditate. Yeah, but I think this is like what you pointed out is so spot on, and I think this is a very huge, I think I would say a huge master class, not just an interview, that you're sharing so many golden nuggets. So I think time also flies. I really love talking to you, because there's so much thing that we can dig deeper. Maybe we could do a separate episode to talk about work-life balance, to talk about fulfilled life, and all that stuff. I think we could have that, or maybe we could arrange a separate masterclass that you can share with our audience, or my community of mompreneurs on this. So time has flies, and maybe Joanne, you can share with the audience how can they get connected with you.
Okay, so I am on Facebook, so you can actually my handle is at do better with Joe. Okay, so you can type do better with Joe. Okay, or you can type Joanne Khoo and you can see my face, and then it's that lah. Okay, yeah. So I have an Instagram account also, is do better with Joe. So and both right, I will share daily some tips, some of my daily thoughts, and you definitely I welcome anybody who wants to connect with me, send me a DM or whatever. I like to meet people and have new connection, because I always feel that everyone that I know knows something that I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's is everyone's mentor, and I want to learn from, because we are brought up like you are in Malaysia, I'm from Singapore, culture different, although we have a lot of similarity, but there's a lot of things I'm like this session itself, I'm learning so much from you that I've not learned from other mompreneurs. Like today is episode 94. So one way for you to learn is do a podcast. Like for me, I've tapped into 94 great minds, and I'm learning from them, absorbing. It's like me reading a book, but this works better than me reading books, although I do read books. But I think that meeting people, having a conversation, tap into their greatest mind, and getting their things that work for them. The most important thing is things that work for them, that you can immediately take action, like what Joanne had mentioned about the 4 areas, her 4 blends, which is work, relationship, recreation, and contribute. So this is really a very, very good way for you to feel harmonized, feel happy, feel fulfilled, by having this blend into your life. So I would like to thank Joanne for sharing all these golden nuggets, all these diamonds that you have for us. So what would be your advice for mothers who want to start business?
Okay, I feel that the first of the thing, right, that a lot of I feel that the first thing that works for me, it's really really believe that you deserve to have more. You can and you deserve to have more, because a lot of times, right, it's when you yourself feel that this is not me, I cannot do that, I'm not like them, I cannot do that. When you have this self-doubt and the limiting beliefs, right, then no matter what you do, right, it's not going to be successful. You have to first believe that you deserve and you can. Okay, and with that belief, right, the second advice is like to share this belief out.
Yep.
Yeah, because you'll be really surprised. It happens to me as well when I know what I want, okay, and I believe that I deserve it, I go and tell other people. And you'll be surprised how many people out there can help you achieve your goals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you keep it to yourself, and because you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe you deserve it, no one know how to help you.
Yep.
But if you say I believe that I deserve more, I can do more, and I want more in life, right? And you proudly tell to this, and people will get inspired, and people will say, okay, I have a friend who know this, let's do this, and let me connect with you with this person and the other person. There will be so many angels. I am truly blessed, and I'm grateful, forever grateful for all the people who show up in my life, right? And who has reached out and helped me in achieving my goals, because there's just too many amazing people. Some are directly helping, some are indirectly helping, some are giving moral support, some are really, doing something physical. But whatever it is, right, if you tell it to the world, the universe will send you somebody.
Yeah.
It will happen.
You are right. You are right. You are 100% right. Why would I say that? Because this whole journey of Mompreneur Space Live Show, interviewing mompreneur from all around the world, was just a message that I put it out on my Facebook, looking for mompreneurs, inspiring mompreneurs have amazing story that want to share. And I just had one person that connected me with 20 people, 20 amazing mompreneurs, just like that. And this happens to be someone that I do not know. Just happened that we are in a Facebook group together with our publisher, with all the fellow authors. And that was how it spin off. My first few episodes was from the fellow authors with the same publisher. And like you mentioned, when your message is out there, it just spin off and people start referring, like how this thing grow. How do I get to know you? I know you from Katrina. And after that, I know that you are partners with her. I know you are good friends also. And that's why I hear a lot about you. And that's why I reach out to you. These are all because when you are doing the things that is right, that the message is right, and something that you believe in with conviction, people will reach out to you. People will come to you. Like today, was it today or yesterday? I sent out a message saying that I need to look for more mompreneurs because I'm going to wrap it up on episode 100. So I need a few more names. So very lucky that people are contributing. People are tagging their people. One of my guy friend tagged the wife, which I do not know that what does the wife does. So the wife does manage a family business. So she's also a mom with I think 3 kids also. So just like that. Yeah, so when you say put out to the universe or put out to the world, in fact, your world will be Facebook. When you have something that you want to do truly, there will be people that are supporting you. Just put out onto Facebook. Someone somewhere will know someone that will connect you.
Correct.
Just have that belief and just put it out. The most important thing, other than having belief, right? Like what you shared, the second part, which is very important, to share this belief by either by like us connecting, right? Through Zoom, or you put it on your social media, or you ask a friend, do you know of a friend that does this? Definitely people are more willing to help, and that's how it is spin off until like now. Today is episode 94. And this is how it spin off, because I put it out to the world. I share this belief that mothers need to hear other successful mompreneurs that they can do that. If I can do that, you can do that. So this is the message that I want to achieve on this live show. And I'm really, really glad that I've connected with you. Every time I talk to you, connect with you, even on this show, I'm learning so much from you. And I believe that the audience who are tuning in, especially your friends, your supporters, like Selena say good sharing, Joanne, and also Annie say that you're a superwoman. And we have Lee Pepe. I hope that you guys are still tuning in, because I still see a lot of people that are still watching on live. So last but not least, now Joanne, it is your turn for you to post a question of the day out to the audience, and especially for those who are tuning in live. And this question will also go to the next guest. So what would your question of the day be? It can be anything about today's topic, it can be about your business, it could be motherhood, it could be anything that you're passionate about. What would be your question of the day, Joanne?
Okay, my question of the day is, if you really have to, you really have to, what will be the 3 steps, or the 3 things you can do in the next 30 days, right, to improve your life?
Okay, can you repeat again slowly?
Okay. If you really, just in a situation where you really have to, you have no choice. And what will be the 3 steps you can do in the next 30 days, to improve your life?
Okay, what would be the 3 steps?
In the next 30 days to improve your life.
The next 30 days?
Yeah.
To improve your life.
Okay. If you
really want to lah.
Not want to.
Have to.
You really have to. And that is something that I always ask the people that I kickstart coach. Because a lot, the reason why they cannot kickstart is like they don't feel that they can, and they don't feel that they really want to. They say, I can put this off. Yeah, I can put this. There's no urgency. But if there is really a need that you need to improve your life in the next 30 days, I'm sure you can think of 3 things you immediately can do.
All right.
And 30 days later, your life will improve.
Yep.
Whether it's financially, whether it's your physical life, whether it's your relationship. Okay? So whatever it is, 3 things in 30 days and your life changed. So what would that be? Okay.
So I repeat the question of the day again, posted by Joanne, which is, if you really want, what would be the 3 steps in the next 30 days to improve your life?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will repeat one more time. So if you really want to do it or have to do it, what would be the 3 steps in the next 30 days to improve your life? What would be the 3 steps? All right. Okay. So once again, thanks Joanne for sharing. And before we wrap up, right, what would be your last advice for mothers who are sitting on the fence thinking whether should I start a business, should I not start a business? What would be your last advice for them?
I think I'm going to recap some of the things the important things that I mentioned. I feel that it is really important to ask yourself these few questions. Okay, what is not serving you right now? What do you want to say no to? And then, what do you really value in life? Okay. And then after that, right? And when you know what you really value in life, right? Pursue fulfillment and not balance. Okay. Yeah. And the last thing, right, that I want to really highlight, that whatever that you have is always enough. Okay. It is always enough, because, right, when you feel that you are enough, right, okay, that means you deserve more. Only people who feel that they are not enough, right, they say, I can never get more one.
And this is go back to being grateful, right? Having that gratitude.
Yes. Having that gratitude. To me, having the gratitude, being grateful of what you have, it's also at the same time, when you are grateful with what you have, right, that means you have a sense of self-belief. So, in terms of knowledge, let's say that I have a lot. I have some experience. I know how to do this. And, you are grateful for what you have, rather than focusing on, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I don't have this, I don't have time, I don't have the resources, I don't have the experience. If you're focusing on all those, what you don't have, that means you're always not enough.
Yeah.
And when you're always not enough, you can never get more. Yeah. So really ask yourself what you can say no, because when you say no to all the things that is not serving you right now, it will lead you to what really matters in your life. And then look at what really matters, right? And and achieve fulfillment in those areas that really matters to you, and be grateful for whatever, whether it's little bit of achievement, big achievement, whatever, be grateful with that 4 things. Yeah.
Wow, that is a lot. That is a huge things that I believe is a huge present for a lot of, for those who are tuning in live, be watching the replay. This is something that you guys need to write notes, right? So thanks a lot, Joanne, for sharing so much, and definitely grateful for you making time, especially in now pretty late, for you to share all this amazing stuff that most of us may not be able to get to hear that. So once again, I thank you for making time, and
Thank you.
accepting my invitation to be on the show. And then last but not least, maybe you can say something to your supporters that they are still tuning in.
Yeah, I just want to shout out to everyone who's still watching, or if you're watching the replay. First of all, thank you, Kenneth, for having me. I had a really good time. Likewise, when you talk to me, you say you learn something. When I talk to you, I also learn a lot. So and that is what life is all about. New experiences. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share whatever that I just shared. And thank you for my friends who are, I'm just looking at who is watching right now, and I hope whatever that I talk about, right, it's helpful, and then and I welcome anybody who wants to connect with me, so so just a lot of heart, a lot of heart, a lot of likes,
they are putting a lot of hearts also.
Yeah, thank you so much. So it is late already, I'm so happy that they are still staying on. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Joanne.
Awesome effort.
And thanks for those who are tuning on live, and for those who are watching the replay. Do drop us a message or drop us a comment. What's your biggest takeaway from Joanne's sharing today? And last but not least, I'm Kenneth here, signing off with Joanne. Thank you guys for watching Mompreneur Space live show podcast, where we interview mompreneurs from all around the world for them to share how they overcome their mompreneurship journey. So thank you all once again, and I shall see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.